Okay, this is Chair Haggerty again. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that this is an emergency meeting scheduled for the Board of Trustees for the El Paso Community College. Prudent to Section 551.045 of the Texas Government Code. This meeting will be held by teleconference. The teleconference audio can be accessed by dialing toll-free number 1-844-992-4726 and using access code 626-634-791 and through an audio feed found at www.youtube.com/user/GOEPCC, EPCC. At this time, I will have Pamela Payne poll the members of the board who are present by teleconference.
Dr. Carmen Olivas-Graham.
Carmen Olivas-Graham, present.
Ms. Bonnie Soria Nájera.
Bonnie Soria Nájera, present.
Ms. Nina Pina.
Nina Pina, present.
Mrs. Belen Robles. Mrs. Belen Robles. Mrs. Belen Robles. Ms. Cristina Sanchez. Ms. Cristina Sanchez. Ms. Cristina Sanchez. I'm going to go back. Mrs. Belen Robles. Mr. John Uxer.
John Uxer, present.
And Chair Brian Haggerty.
Chair Brian Haggerty, present. Okay.
Chair Haggerty, I have been informed by Ms. Sanchez that she will be on shortly. She has reached out to inform me that she will be on shortly. I do see in the technology, Chair Haggerty, that Mrs. Robles is on the call. She was muted. She is unmuted now. I don't know if she can let Ms. Payne know that she is in attendance.
Belen, can you hear us?
Someone's there. Okay, so at this time, Chair, we have 5 trustees that are present on the meeting and 2 trustees that will be joining the meeting with us shortly.
Okay. So we're going to go into executive session?
Can we establish that we do have a quorum?
There's 5 members present by teleconference, so we do have a quorum present. Are there any, do you have any open forum remarks, Ms. Payne?
Yes, I do, sir. We received an email from Ms. Rebecca Bell. She is the president of the EPCC Faculty Senate. Distinguished members of the board and Dr. Sarasa, thank you for your time in reading our comments and updates for the month of March. We understand that we are living through an exceptional chapter, and we appreciate your time in reviewing this memo. The actions of the association are focused on the rapid transition of all instruction to an online environment. This transition has not been easy, but it has certainly been made smoother by the actions of several key EPCC offices. The Senate met on Wednesday morning, March the 25th, 2020, and noted several areas that have worked tirelessly to support us, and our remarks are focused on our appreciation for these areas. First, we are greatly appreciative of the IT area for its rapid deployment of support and resources. We understand that this is a very technical area, and despite the massive increase in demand, we have not seen a removal, reduction, or delay in any services. The task presented to IT was unprecedented, and response has been a remarkably smooth conversion for many faculty to work from home. The word that was used in the Senate meeting relating to the response by IT was awesome. Second, we wish to extend our appreciation for the Distance Learning Support Service Department. We recognize that many faculty have limited training related to remote instruction prior to spring break. Today, hundreds of us are working on communicating with students and uploading content. That would not have been possible without the work of the Distance Learning Support Services Department, and it has happened through remote learning model teams. This is due entirely to the tenacity and patience of our distance learning team. We are eternally grateful for their work. Third, we wish to thank the web and marketing team for their updates. Our ability to go to the website and receive the latest information has been a great comfort and empowerment for faculty as we walk through this chapter. EPCC has been intentional about providing us with messaging quickly and through easy access to channels. This has given us the tools to answer questions and connect them with resources in a time of questions and instability. They have given us a place to turn for answers and are greatly appreciated. Fourth, the Senate recognizes the particular service of faculty in our libraries who have remained on duty and open for other faculty to come and receive support. We know they are taking needed and required precautions, but their actions continue to be selfless. We are honored to have each of them as colleagues. Additionally, to counseling, who has been available for us to send questions on a variety of topics, ranging from personal to educational. They have been a strength for both us and our students during this time. Last, on a personal note, I wanted to thank the board, cabinet, and leadership for your guidance of the institution during this season. It cannot be easy. The decisions are without precedent. The scale is beyond imagination. Yet you continue to lead. Thank you for being at the helm, for working to keep us all employed, and for empowering us to help our students to finish both our classes and their education. We are turning all our focus and resources to supporting students. In doing that, we make the commitment to our leadership that we will continue to showcase outstanding content and service to all EPCC students at this time. Thank you for your time and attention, Rebecca Bell. And we received an additional email to our board questions email box. Judge Haggerty, this is from a Nadina Torres. She says that her question is what is going to happen or be done for the part-time employees of EPCC? Will we be able to continue working or receive some sort of payment? And at this time, Chair Haggerty, those are the only comments we have received.
And FYI, for all attending the teleconference, these questions will be answered by email back to the people who sent them in. Is that correct, Ms. Payne?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Could you read, please, 1.7.1? 1.7.1.
Item 1.7, Board of Trustees Business. Item 1.7.1, Dr. William Sedoff, our college president, will provide an update to the Board of Trustees on the COVID-19 pandemic.
Chair Haggerty and members of the board, it's certainly unprecedented times.
Again, let me thank the faculty. Ms. Bell, thank you so much for the information that you provided and for your statement. We certainly appreciate everything that our faculty has done in order to ensure that student learning continues. Our students were the beneficiaries of an additional week, unscheduled and quite frankly, unwanted by our students of spring break. During this week, our faculty has prepared and worked diligently to prepare to go to online instruction beginning on Monday, March the 30th. But I want to provide the Board of Trustees, Chair Haggerty, and members of the board an overview of what the college has done and is doing in preparation for the COVID-19 pandemic. On February 24th, there was a large outbreak of COVID-19 in Italy, which caused major concerns worldwide of a potential pandemic. February 26th, I met with key staff that advised the following actions take place. Initiate the COVID-19 informational educational campaign for El Paso Community College students, faculty, and staff. Develop contingency plans for a COVID-19 event or college closure as a result of the virus affecting the city and county of El Paso. Notify the El Paso Office of Emergency Management, OEM, of EPCC's planning efforts. Additionally, on February 26th, COVID-19 web pages, it was published as part of our homepage. Information is provided to update students, faculty, and staff, including links to the CDC, to the WHO, as well as to local and state health authorities. The site is available from the homepage and is a permanent pop-up on the site. I encourage everyone who's listening, as well as all of our faculty and staff, to go to our homepage. You'll see the pop-up, or you can go directly to epcc.edu/coronavirus. On February 27th, we provided an initial district-wide update to all students, faculty, and staff, informing them about El Paso Community College's close monitoring of COVID-19 and providing additional updates. The campus community is informed on how information will continue to be distributed. On February 28th, information campaign on preventive measures and COVID-19 awareness began on social media, so web, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. On March the 4th, I issued a spring break and travel update urging awareness about traveling as well as preventive measures like hand washing and continue to disinfect areas. On March 6th, the University of Washington closed campuses and transitioned all coursework to online instruction only, indicating the severity of the health hazard and how that posed concern to educational institutions. On March the 10th, posters and signage promoting hand washing and other COVID-19 prevention strategies were printed and posted in high traffic areas and restrooms of the entire district and all campuses. On March 11th, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic. On March the 12th, we sent out district-wide communication encouraging preventative health practices, which provided CDC status update. March the 12th, based on the recommendation of our athletic director, Mr. Hinojosa, we suspended all athletic competitions for the remainder of the spring semester. On March the we sent out a district-wide message with new travel restrictions, including suspending all non-essential college travel and requiring self-reporting and subsequent isolation after personal travel to areas with outbreaks. All campus events were restricted to 50 people or less, which was the practice at the time, and social distancing guidelines were encouraged. Spring break we determined that we needed to extend spring break an additional week for students, and spring instruction would be moved completely online beginning March 30th. We announced that to the public. On March 13th, the city of El Paso reports its first presumed case of COVID-19 due to recent domestic travel late in the evening of the 13th. On the 13th, Governor Abbott declared the state of disaster for the state of Texas, rather. On March 13th, the city of El Paso issued a declaration of local emergency. The college observed spring break the week of March 16th through the 20th. During that, beginning on Tuesday morning, I participated on a conference call with Congresswoman Escobar and other educational leaders throughout the community. The afternoon of the Tuesday, the 17th, we had our first state association call on COVID-19, all 50 community college presidents having a conference call with Jacob Friday, our CEO, for TAP, and began that daily conversation since Tuesday of spring break. I have been in contact with Cabinet the entire week of spring break, as well as this week. Even though we're working remotely, we have continued with nearly daily conference calls. On March 17th, the city issued an ordinance investigation the spread of COVID-19. On March 20th, Governor Abbott issued an executive order to contain COVID-19 across Texas, including the closure of all schools. We sought word from the governor's office if closing of all schools applied to institutions of higher education, and we were informed that it did. As such, we issued a district-wide communication informing how the closure would impact EPCC, closing all campuses until April 3rd in accordance with the governor's executive order, reducing gatherings to 10 people or fewer, and limiting operations at the college to only essential functions coming into any of our campuses or sites. On March 20th, the White House issued an agreement between the U.S. and Mexico that limited non-essential travel between the two countries. The college sent out a district-wide communication to inform employees and students of the directive and its impact. They were exempt, as educational institutions were exempt from that impact, but still adhering to the executive order that our county put in place as well. On March 23rd, Dr. Yuron and her team, my team, made distance learning and remote toolkit available to students and employees, highlighting technology support where available. On March the 24th, the city of El Paso issued a stay home, work safe executive order effective until further notice. On March 24th, we communicated the implications of the city-county order to all employees. We sought legal guidance in order to ensure that we were limited to only essential functions and outlined that compliance measure and strategies. Cabinet members were directed to meet with their respective areas to implement a remote work activity schedule. We continue, Chair Hagerty, members of the board, continuous operations. We continue to communicate with the El Paso OEM on our current state of events. Mr. Padilla, Hector Padilla, has been our point person in working with OEM. Weekly meetings with the regional emergency managers and OEM. We've maintained continuous communication with school districts as well as emergency managers. Daily conference calls with the Texas DSHS for COVID-19 updates. We've continued to monitor declarations and information from the city and county of El Paso and our local health department. We've continued to monitor national events. We've had regular meetings and phone conferences with cabinet, as well as statewide meetings with the Texas Association of Community Colleges. And as a member of the executive committee of the American Association of Community Colleges, I've been on 3 conference calls with both AACC and the Association of Community College Trustees executive committees. Messaging from external relations, communication, and development to internal and external stakeholders. We've continued regular updates of resources and information on our website, the EPCC COVID-19 website. And our IT department has worked around the clock to help manage the transition to remote working and studying via distance technology. I cannot thank the cabinet members who since Tuesday of spring break have been on the phone with me in continuous communication of ensuring that we make this transition as smooth as possible. Dr. Yuron, Marco, and Abraham, and all of their IT folks have done a tremendous job of transitioning to Mo, Associate Vice President Mo and her team have done a tremendous job of ensuring that we get the word out to the community on a regular basis. I just wanted to provide the Board of Trustees with an overview of the timeline and what the college is doing and how we continue to move forward. In addition, I have developed recommendations, and they are part of the resolution I know there's a lot of uncertainty from faculty, staff, as well as our students. We continue to provide information to keep them abreast of all activities that the institution is moving forward in. And I know that at the conclusion of this meeting, our folks will be able to have. That concludes my report, Chair.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sarata. Do we want you to go ahead and to read the resolution, or do you want to wait until after the session? It should be unmoved. Can you all hear me?
Hi, it's Christina Sanchez. I think I'm connected in. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Christina?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. All right. Do you want to read that after or before the resolution?
You could read it now. And we can
Thank
go
you so
into
much,
executive.
Marco. I think I'm good.
Okay,
Thanks.
at this time, board member, let the record show them that Ms. Sanchez is in the conference. Dr. Sarata, could you please read the resolution that you're asking us to adopt, please?
Would you like me to read the item first?
Yeah, if we could, yeah.
Item 1.7.2, discussion and action to approve a resolution authorizing the delegation of authority to Dr. William Sarata, college president, to make certain necessary college policy changes or other emergency initiatives related to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Chair Hagerty, for EPCC, my recommendation would be for the board to take this issue after executive session.
Okay, do I have a motion to move this issue into executive session?
Dr. Graham, I make a motion that we move this to executive session.
John Uxer, I second.
And what provision are we entering into executive session under?
Francisco Ortega, counsel for EPCC, this would be under section 551071 of the Texas Government Code.
Okay, and just specifically, we're looking for some legal advice and consultation in terms of what we will be reviewing in terms of any employment issues, matters as pertains to some of the federal legislation that comes down and what legal considerations that we need to think through on that.
That's correct.
Okay.
Hello, Chair Hagerty, this is John Uxer. I have just one mechanical question before we go anything else. My notes say that if we go into executive session, we click on the X. I want to make sure that I know which X to click on so that I don't leave the whole thing. And so I guess maybe that's for Dr. Herron to tell me which X do I need to X whenever we decide to X out of this place.
Up and identify yourself as.
John, just a second, someone from IT will explain it to you. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, this is Marco Fernandez. Once you're done, we can go ahead and end the meeting and it'll disconnect everybody from at that point.
And then remind them that they'll have to rejoin.
Yes, and for the executive session, then it would be the other conference information that was sent to you by Pamela Payne.
And then.
In other words, we totally close out the Cisco WebEx event as opposed to the chat window.
They're coming back.
Yes, they'll be coming back.
Come back, I'll leave it open. You just go back to the email.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes. So just go ahead and close the X on the right-hand side, and that'll end your session for right now.
Sounds good.
Hold up just a second, John.
There's a motion and a second that would need to.
We need to poll the board to see if this motion passes. Go ahead, Pam. Call the question.
Okay, this is to go into executive session.
Dr. Graham, yes.
Ms. Nájera,
Bonnie Soria Nájera, yes.
Ms. Pena,
Nina Piña, yes.
Belen Robles, Ms. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mr. Uxer,
John Uxer, yes.
Mr. Haggerty.
Chair Hagerty, yes. So we're going to go into executive session. Can you read what you need to read there, Ms.
Yes,
Payne?
sir. The Board of Trustees may conduct an executive or closed session pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code for one or more of the following reasons: consulting with its attorney to seek or receive legal advice or consultation regarding pending or contemplated litigation, or for any purpose authorized by law. Discussion about the value or transfer of real property. Discussion about a prospective gift or donation. Consideration of specific personnel matters. Discussion about security personnel or devices, or discussion of certain economic development matters. The board may also announce it will go into executive session on any item listed on this agenda if the subject matter is permitted for a closed session by provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. Any vote regarding these items shall be taken in open session. Discussion with legal counsel regarding the duties and obligations of the college, if any, pursuant to the Families First Coronavirus Response Act and any local, state, and national orders, guidelines, and directives related to COVID-19 pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and, we disconnect and we'll come back on and we will be in executive session. Okay? Okay, we're gonna take a roll call. Belen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and this is Belen Robles, and I'm present.
John Uxer,
John Uxer, present.
Christina Sanchez,
Can you hear me?
Christine,
I'm here.
okay. Dr. Graham is present. Nina Pena,
Present, Nina Piña?
Bonnie Nahara,
Yes, sir, I'm here.
okay, present, and myself is present. So we're back in the open session. I want to apologize.
We have to let them know.
Gotta let them know
15 seconds.
Actually-
Okay,
the transition.
hold on.
You ready?
And then
Okay.
Pam needs to do an official roll call.
We're back in open session. So we're going to go back and visit item number 1.71, correct, Ted?
1.72.
Can you read it again? So,
Yes, sir. Item 1.7.2, discussion and action to approve a resolution authorizing the delegation of authority to Dr. Wayne Sarasa, college president, to make certain necessary college policy changes or other emergency initiatives related to the COVID-19 pandemic.
do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve resolution as presented by Dr. Zapata.
And for the record, that was trustee Graham.
Okay. Any
This is Christina. Yeah, did somebody already make a second? Sorry, this is Christina.
No, nobody's made a second. Is there any discussion?
Yes, there's a discussion. I'm in full support of approval of the resolution. However, I wanted to ensure that we made the following changes to the resolution before adoption, and those changes would be for section number or paragraph number 5 of the resolution, that language be included that says under subsection 5.2 that the delays posed by competitive procurement of contracts necessary to restore, replace, and or repair equipment, personal property, and or school facilities will prevent or substantially impair the conduct of classes or other essential college activities, but the president shall inform the board of trustees all emergency purchases that exceed 50,000 made hereunder, so that language be included of that exceed 50K. Also under paragraph 9, that there's language that says the authority to determine and document the work assignment location, included the language and document to ensure that staff is recording where those changes and where those changes have been made pursuant to the order. There's a renumbering as well, and that we also add a paragraph here that says that that gives Dr. Sarasa the ability to and authority to engage, cooperate, and to enter into any agreements with any of the community partners local, state, and or national governmental entities regarding any matters that arise from COVID-19. And again, this is the thought process in that was to ensure that there's no delay for Dr. Serrata to engage in those activities, understanding the urgency and the necessity to move quickly if necessary, if this issue progresses as we're going. A couple of other changes, that the resolution itself is specific and only applies to the president, and that clearly identifies that that president is Dr. William Serrata. And again, to put a time frame or for this particular resolution that applies and shall remain in effect until May the 27th or until otherwise rescinded by majority vote of the board. And so what that means is that the end date for sure would be May the 27th, 2020. There may be the requirement that we have to come back and vote, but that at least for now is the end date. Or unless we come back, this is finished, this is through, and we can have the ability to rescind that. So that those are the changes that I would propose be made to the resolution. And with that, I think that we can call a vote unless there's additional discussion.
Okay. Dr. Graham, can you redo your motion to include the changes that Ms. Sanchez just made?
This is Francisco Ortega, counsel for EPCC. Just a point of clarification. If the motion will also include, besides the proposed revisions made by Trustee Sanchez, if also on page 3, the first paragraph, which reads, further resolved that the Board of Trustees of El Paso Community College finds a public purpose exists in retaining its employees, reducing turnover, increasing morale, helping employees focus on work-related matters while at work, and facilitating the return of employees to normal operations. With the proposed motion also modify the language while at work to while working?
While working, because this is Dr. Graham, because that will include whether the individuals are at the buildings that they normally perform their duties for EPCC, or if they are at home working on EPCC business.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second,
I second the motion.
Sanchez.
If you have a question, Mr. Utzer?
Is this a point, is this a comment? Are we waiting on a second, or can I comment?
We
I
just had
need
a
a
motion.
second to begin discussion.
I believe someone, who seconded the motion?
Seconded it.
Who?
Ms. Sanchez?
Ms. Sanchez seconded it. Ms. Sanchez seconded the motion. So John, if you have something to say, this is under discussion. What would you like to bring up?
Actually, I have read the posted change, which has been posted online. It's a red line item in the deal, and it covers each and every point that has been discussed. And to my satisfaction, it's addressed as presented in the motion. So I think the posted revision online is there. I just read it as it was being discussed.
Okay, any other discussion? Did you call the question, Pam?
Yes, sir. Dr. Graham?
Yes.
Ms. Nahara?
Aye.
Ms. Pena?
Aye.
Mrs. Robles?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez?
Aye.
Mr. Utzer?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty?
Aye. Motion passes. Next scheduled board meeting is May the 27th, correct?
The board would have to, our suggestion, Chair Haggerty, is that we change the board meeting. This was an emergency meeting. I thank the board for holding this emergency meeting. I suggest, or would like as administration to suggest, that the board schedule the next regular board meeting for, you're correct, it is currently scheduled for April the 22nd. We would recommend that the board move the meeting up to April the 15th.
Before there's a motion on that matter, just for the record, this is item 1.7.3, discussion and action regarding changing the Board of Trustees meeting date for the month of April 2020.
Okay, does anyone have a problem with April 15th? Okay, we need a motion. I need a motion for the board to be on April 15th.
This is Dr.
This is
Graham. I
Bonnie
make a motion- Go ahead, Bonnie.
This is Bonnie Nahara. I make a motion to move the meeting to April, what did we say, 14th?
15.
15th.
And do I hear a second?
Second. This is Dr. Graham.
Okay, any discussion? Call the question.
Dr. Graham. Ms. Nahara.
Aye.
Ms. Pena.
Aye.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye. We have a motion to adjourn?
Motion made. This is Dr. Graham.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, see you all on the 15th of April.
Thank
Stay,
you, members of the board, please stay
Have a
healthy.
great evening.
you guys too, stay safe. Give my best to all your families.
Thank you, Judge. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Job.